All of us make mistakes, and Una and Aaron made a big one. But when they realized what they had done, they didn't lie about it. They didn't try to cover it up. Instead, they admitted it. As He-Man said, admitting you're wrong takes courage. But when you do, you've taken the first big step toward making up for it.
Of course, if you're like me, you never make a mistake.
Or Co.
Well, I guess I better disappear. Oops, I think I made a mistake.
When I look at the Western media, there's one recurring theme: the destruction of strong male characters, even in their own shows. Progressivism. Clownfish broke the story months ago that this show wasn't going to center around He-Man. Kevin Smith, in all of his wisdom, decided to do a slight witch hunt on Clownfish and called him liar. He himself is quoted as saying recently he used him as a meat shield. Good work, Kevin. Good work. You're now even less liked and respected than before, and I didn't think it was possible. When the first photos of Teela popped up, it was your typical strong female character tropes.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
Half-shaved head, male jawline, male body type, which, honest to God, makes no sense how Teela is just so physically male. It's ridiculous. I dated a fitness girl who used to work out 6 days a week, and she was muscular, but not like Teela was muscular. Good Lord. I think the critical drunk or the cynical drunk put it the best himself when he said she was built like Dolph Lundgren from the He-Man Masters of the Universe movie. All the other tropes are their bad attitude, doesn't need any men, everyone's an idiot and a liar. She's endlessly talented and amazing. She's even got a hidden power that's really going to make her even more amazing. It's great writing, really.
This can't be.
You say Goku.
What are you?
Oh, Scareglow. I'm your worst nightmare.
She's got that right. A modern-day adaptation of a beloved children's classic. But the fact that all of these strong female characters all follow the same archetype, at this point, it isn't even funny. It's like a bad joke that keeps being told over and over again. And it was written by Amy Schumer. Well, anyway, Kevin Smith rolls in, lies straight through his teeth about the show. Kevin Smith, this motherfucker right here. The thinner he got, the less respect all of us seem to have for him. He looks as deflated as his ego should be. My God, all I know about Kevin Smith now is that he cries at the drop of a hat. Like, there'd be like some YouTube thumbnail from Kevin Smith's channel and he's watching a trailer and his eyes are as red as the devil's dick. And he's crying about something. And I couldn't give a f less. He's crying like his child died watching a movie trailer. I don't know what happened to Kevin Smith. And frankly, I don't care to find out. He was crying harder than a teenage girl who's watching the first 5 minutes of a BTS music video that just premiered.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's clinical depression.
What in God's name is going on with him? If I was the head of a studio and they said to me, Kevin Smith is gonna write He-Man, I would have said, what, the fruit who cries all the time on YouTube? No, get him to write the remake of The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and you can get the f out of my face. Anyway, Smith lied. Clownfish took a little heat at the time because shit on YouTubers is a favorite pastime for celebrities and media outlets and journalists, because basically they're all losing people to YouTubers because, I don't know, we're slightly more trustworthy and we're not bot paid shills just yet. But I'm for sale. And frankly, you know what? Good job, Smith. You were so short-sighted, you have no idea what you've done. You have elevated the status of Clownfish to like a whole new level. They're probably going to end up becoming one of those big YouTube channels for getting scoops and stuff and will be like respected like Red Letter Media most likely in time. You, on the other hand, are now on a steep decline. It is actually amazing. You loaded the gun You handed it to Clownfish, and then you pulled the trigger for them, and you deserve it. And you're probably going, Gundam, what does this have to do with this Shera? Wait, is it Shera? It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Literally the same thing they did to Shera they did to, like, Teela. Shera's gay now, okay? Except it's animated like garbage. And now Teela's definitely gay. If you didn't know, spoiler alert. They haven't confirmed it, but next season, Teela will be gay. She'll make out with the black chick. And then when people still think the show is garbage, the news outlets are going to go, homophobic viewers hate gay people, man. And that will be the narrative they'll push. And somehow it'll be, Gamergate was involved. It'll be this whole store. It'll be full of like everything is these days. Well, anyway, the show starts off with good animation, considering most Western animations literally look like Tumblr art. I'm so fed the up with people drawn like beans, bean-shaped humans. You call this art? I call it stuff I did when I was a kid, wanking in the afternoon rather than paying attention in class. Let it ride. What bothers me is this horrible art style has become the mainstream in America and the norm, but God forbid, Rivet had tits in Ratchet and Clank. There are a few points in the show when you watch the first episode, and it's already a sign of things to come. I'm like, not bad, not bad. I think people are exaggerating on He-Man. Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh, wait a minute. What? Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I see what's coming. You know, Teela's getting promoted to Man-at-Arms. They're, like, just showering Teela with praise. You know? It's like, it was just repetitive how everybody was talking about how amazing Teela was. Even Prince Adam's next to his father, and he's like, oh, look at how happy Teela's stepfather is for her. Prince Adam's father's like, I hope to have the same pride myself one day. Like, okay, yeah, all right, I see where this is going. Why was Prince Adam more feminine than Teela? Could somebody explain that to me? By the time the action starts, you kind of get this feeling of nostalgia. It was nice to see all these classic He-Man characters kicking ass and looking good doing it. You're like, yeah. But what was odd to me was like, He-Man immediately kills Skeletor after he takes out, like, Swamp Thing, essentially, because I can't remember the guy's name. Which, it was weird, because He-Man kills Skeletor right then and there. I had the same weird feeling at that point that I had when Zack Snyder's Justice League movie was Batman versus Superman, his crap take on it. I don't care if you like Snyder, he can suck it. Batman is using a gun and killing people with grenades, and I'm just like, that's not how Batman rolls. And that's how I felt about, like, He-Man just stabbing Skeletor for whatever. It was to push the stupid story forward. He-Man sacrifices himself to save the entire universe, right? And for some reason, it wasn't the fact that everybody almost died that bothered Teela. It was the fact that Prince Adam was He-Man. Like, that bothered her because it was a lie. You can't lie to her. You're not supposed to lie to women. Men are not supposed to lie to women. You know, who are you to expect the truth or anything from her? She owes you nothing, but you owe her everything. Welcome to America. Man-at-Arms. I can't even remember the guy's name. I don't care anymore. I really don't care. It's like I forgot these characters existed. Now I remember them again, and I saw how it went, and I kind of want to forget again. Long story short, Teela gets mad at everybody and flips out at the king and quits the job she wanted her entire life, apparently, which makes no sense. It was like, I wanted this my whole life, but Prince Adam's lie has overshadowed all of this. Teela leaves the kingdom and then decides to become a hardcore lesbian treasure hunter. Kevin Smith, do us all a favor. You should quit. You suck, bro. It's time to retire.
Real talk. Real talk.
The story is pushed along in such predictable fashions that it's almost sad, really? You know, like, why? I can't even explain it to you, dude. Like, literally, you watch this show and you know how everything's going to play out to the point where it's annoying. It even goes for cheap emotional connections with the little witch guy whose name I also can't remember, and him getting close with Evelyn. It's just like, it tries to pull at your heartstrings purposefully. It's not well written. It's just very typical, honestly. It's like Kevin Smith was trying to do Return of the Jedi. And this is what a lot of people were trying to defend because blue check marks on Twitter. They were like, if Empire Strikes Back came out now, people would all over it, the man babies. Literally, that's all they had were buzzwords to try and discredit anyone that didn't like the show. while also ignoring that there were a lot of women that also didn't like the show. But that doesn't support the narrative. Long as you keep pushing the misogyny and, man, baby, incel, use any one of these terms, it sort of gives validity and credibility to an argument where there is none. That's also what I find insidious, disgusting, and disingenuous. But this is modern American cinema and politics and all this other BS. Make everything absolutely garbage, and when people don't like it, scream bigotry. But anyway, the point was, blue check marks are trying to equate this to Empire Strikes Back. Here's the difference. You brainlet. 1, George Lucas wrote Empire Strikes Back. He wrote A New Hope. He created Star Wars. These are his characters, all right? 2, Lucas was inspired by Kurosawa films, such as like Seven Samurai, Something Fortress. I can't remember the name of it, but I watched the film. I could recognize it. This is what you do. When you want to create a show and you want to have completely a different narrative than what people are used to, make your own thing. Be inspired by He-Man and come up with your own thing. Then you can do whatever the hell you wanted. Don't take established characters and subvert expectations. It never ends well, especially when you didn't create it. That's the issue here. Rian Johnson's lack of understanding of the Force and Star Wars in general is why the new trilogy got even shit. J.J. Abrams didn't know his ass from his elbow, and Rian Johnson thought he was just smarter than everyone else in the goddamn room. Now you got two people who don't know what they're doing with an intellectual property f***ing it up. Rian Johnson f***ed up so bad, J.J. Abrams came in and looked at it and said, wow, this is f***ing. And that's saying something. It's the same thing with He-Man. Kevin Smith didn't create these characters, so don't go experimenting with things. And the race swapping, it doesn't appeal to me at all. It's stupid, really. It's pointless. Why would you race swap characters? I don't feel special because you made somebody black. That doesn't make me feel special. That just tells me we're too creatively bankrupt to come up with something. So we're going to make someone black. You feel better now? BLM. That's what they think. Look, we're progressive. We took the redhead and turned them black. Do you feel better about slavery? Basically, when the reviews came in and they were obviously negative, and after watching the show, I understand why they were negative. It was the usual tropes from the media. Kevin Smith and the rest spun it into misogyny and man babies. Anyone that watched this show and equated the disdain the fan base had for it to simply being, a misogynist obviously didn't care that much about the show, in my opinion. Or maybe they did like it. Who the hell knows? But the majority of people didn't. And you just can't write off their opinion as, oh, they're just bigots. That's not discourse at all. It wasn't a good show. I'm sorry. Granted, I can barely remember the original He-Man. And granted, it was campy. But this didn't sit right with me. It's just kind of like, are we really going to do this again? Did you not learn from Star Wars? And the funny thing is the answer is no. That's why there's going to be another season of this. Who knows how long it'll go on. Essentially, Kevin Smith came out and did some sort of live stream, bro. It was ill-received. People were not having it, children. They were mad. Somewhere Kevin Smith told people to grow up. It's like Kevin Smith, the pot calling the kettle black, motherfucker. You dress like a fat kid who smokes pot behind the bleachers, but it's actually oregano. He's always in like these stupid, Skechers sneakers, the slip-ons, that is folded white socks, his stupid shorts. This motherfucker in shorts wearing blazers. What are you doing? In hockey jerseys with a backwards cap, looking like a goddamn fool. Like a 40-year-old preschooler, bro. Oh, wait, he's 51 now. My bad. And you telling other people to grow up. How about you dress correctly, you backwards ass mother? Kevin Smith pulling a DSP, bro. You guys need to grow up. Snort. Final thoughts. This is why the Japanese entertainment machine is completely and utterly crushing the West under its foot. I know reading manga or watching anime, the focus is on a good story. It's not trying to preach to me. It's not taking characters I love and then completely destroying them for no other reason than to uplift a boring female character that's about as well written as the nutritional facts on your bag of Wendy's. And I know that the Japanese just want to tell a story. They work on escapism. This all should be escapism. I shouldn't feel that there's some sort of message that I've been told one too many times since, what, 2018 is when it really ramped up. It's been years of this ridiculousness. And I'm tired. I'm burnt out. Everyone is. If you want to tell some sort of story with a strong female character, have at it. Create your own.